Get off short form content. And this is a good one because a lot of us spend as much time as possible on short form content, which is really, really bad. Now, remember the days of when short form content didn't exist and how you could watch through a whole movie without looking at your phone or looking away, and you could do any task without having to check your phone or do a different task at the same time. Now, obviously, yes, some multitasking is good, but not as much as we're doing these days because our brains can't handle all those tasks. Our brain just simply is not designed to, have so many tasks all at one go. Hence why we are more stressed these days than when we used to be, because, well, short form content, basically it distracts your brain in an unconscious way. So you may not think it's distracting you, but it is. And like how we spend like hours and hours scrolling on social media and then find that the time is gone. But in reality, all that is just you wasting time on scrolling on like very weird ass videos or videos that are just simply pointless at watching. And the thing is, the short form content affects our brains negatively, and it's actually been scientifically proven to be worse than actual alcohol. Like, it's gotta be so bad to the point that just scrolling on social media has been scientifically proven to be worse than drinking. Like, how does that work? As in, obviously, drinking is worse for other parts of the body, but in terms of the brain's function, apparently social media is actually worse. Now, this is something that I've seen around on different places, that apparently it is worse than alcohol, but I don't know how true that is, so don't take my word on that. But it has been apparently scientifically proven that it is worse than alcohol, which is actually a crazy thing. Now, you may just think that scrolling through each video is simply just an easy, simple task for your brain, but in reality, it's not. Your brain is taking in all different types of information within a short period of time, which is really bad, and also your attention span just goes worse and worse until your dopamine receptors are just fried. And when your dopamine receptors get fried, you basically just become a brainless soul, I guess you could say, which is not good. So what you want to do is you want to spend less time scrolling, but rather watching long videos on YouTube, like at least 10 minutes long or around that, and not getting distracted off of the video. So if you're watching a 10-minute video, watch the whole 10 minutes and don't click off or go on your phone. So if you're watching TV, don't go on your phone, and if you are watching a video on your phone, don't keep going on different apps while you're watching the video. So for instance, if you're watching my video right now, don't go off and click off to a different video, or, go and do something at the same time, because then, well, your attention span is really bad. If you can watch this whole video, then your attention span is actually decent, and that you are helping yourself by watching this video all the way through. And obviously all the videos that I post, or any person's video in fact. But also, if you're getting really good with your attention span after recovering from social media, then you can watch movies all the way through without touching your phone. Now, obviously, if you're in a cinema, it's kind of hard to get your phone up because they say against it. But if you're at home watching a movie and you have the temptation to check your phone, then obviously something is wrong, because you should be able to go through a whole movie without using your phone or going to do some multitasking thing at the same time. Now, by all means, listen to these videos while going to sleep, because that is totally different, because you're not actively using the phone or scrolling. So if you are, watching videos that are quite long and stuff like that, then that's fine. You can listen to that and watch it, because that's very good. And as you've seen from or may not have seen from my YouTube description in the bio, it says videos for those that want to fix their attention spans. Now, I didn't say that for no reason. I said that because my videos are long enough that if you watch all the way through, your attention spans are going to improve. Now, the reason they have short form content is not only to get more users on the platform, because they know that it's a working strategy to keep people into their app, but also it's just a way for them to get more money, because then they can insert more ads in between each video. So if you ever noticed that in TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, as you're scrolling through the feed, you get occasional ads for random things. That's not That's not there for no reason. That's there for their company to make more money while you're actively scrolling on their platform. Now, obviously, yes, you get video ads, which is normal, but they're not as recurrent as short form ads because, well, you're not scrolling. And it depends obviously on the speed of your scrolling to how many ads show up on your feed. Now, I've seen so many people recently scrolling on a very fast amount, like speed. I don't even know how they're doing it, but they're just taking in a couple seconds of each video and they're scrolling instantly. I'm like, well, for starters, you didn't even see what the video was about because there's no way you can actually see in 2 seconds what the video is about. But also, like, you're just wasting your dopamine receptors, like, instantly because, you know, it's not good. So basically, in other words, if you're going to do short form content, which I don't recommend you do, but if you do, then scroll less and watch the videos longer, because that is the best way to use short form content and also not affect your brain as much. Now, if you are going into what I said in the last video where you're creating instead of consuming, then fair enough, you can create TikToks, Instagram Reels, or YouTube Shorts because people will still watch those videos. So I'm not saying don't go on short form content at all in terms of creating or consuming, but basically just reduce the amount of time that you're consuming it, but if you're creating it, then fair enough, create the videos. Now for me, I've noticed this recently with short form content that I have becoming worse and worse when it comes to longer videos, which is why I thought of the idea of spreading my word across this and also making longer videos so it helps you guys out as well in the same boat. Because I personally will watch these videos back and I will watch the whole thing because that's the whole plan. You know, you got to watch the whole videos that you're watching and don't get distracted. So if you're watching, you know, a video on a PC, don't go and do multitasking on the PC unless you're just listening to it, and don't basically, you know, keep checking your phone because that's just silly. Now, if you're one of those people that their screen time says 7 hours a day, then please listen to this. Your phones are there to talk to people, and they used to be designed just for calling or texting. However, over the years, they have now changed into a multi-tool thing that everyone seems to abuse. So what I'm saying is use YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels or TikTok accordingly, and don't spend longer than at least an hour a day across the platforms. So don't basically go and spend 7 hours on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube Shorts, rather spend only an hour a day and limit yourself to that. And you could actually put an app limit on any phone in the settings where you could basically say, right, I only want to do an hour of this in every single day, and then when it hits the hour it will shut you off the app and you can't be tempted to use it. That is very good because that means that you can simply just, you know, use it until that time is up and then you don't have to worry about it until tomorrow. That's the best way to do it, and that's what I've done to stop myself from going onto any platform with short form content. Now, obviously YouTube I have to use because I use long videos to watch, so I don't watch anything on YouTube Shorts because I tend to keep myself off of that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I shall catch you guys tomorrow with the next one. Catch you next time.